Hello friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Let's start our video with a story of petty revenge. And let's wish our OP to have no more co-workers like the girl who made life miserable for everyone around her. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. My petty revenge on working with the worst human I've yet to encounter. Let me set the scene. I work at a popular steakhouse in my city where I both serve and bartend. And about a year and a half ago, we had the pleasure of hiring the most obnoxious, bratty, pompous little F-wit I've ever encountered in the industry so far. Somehow, though, even though she's widely known throughout our restaurant as being a dumb bee, to put things lightly, she still managed to worm her way into our restaurant's social circle. And seeing as how I'm a bit too shy and friendly, I put up with most of her crap, but that's where the petty comes in. I basically try and screw her over whatever chance I get. Oh, you just got off work and are sitting at the wood waiting for your salmon to arrive and I happen to be the last server on and able to run food? Let me let your food sit under the heat lamps for an extra 10 minutes while I go finish my closing duties. What's that? You got off work and are sitting down to have some drinks and literally 2 minutes before last call you asked the closing cocktailer for a dirty gin martini right after I finish putting my garnishes away, including olives? Sure, I'll gladly make it for you. But how about instead of the top shelf Tank 10 gin you're paying $12 for, I'll use our crappy Well brand gin. Oh sorry, you need food runners for your party of 6 and I'm one of the only people around able to do so? Well, I didn't hear you as I was walking by and am now in the back staff area munching on some bread. The satisfaction knowing that these little things probably bugged the crap out of her even though she has no idea I'm purposely screwing her over. Maybe one day she'll figure out that being a raging bee to everyone around her isn't in her best interests. But until that day, my little petty revenges will do the trick. Edit. For the fine folks that would like to hear some justification for my pettiness, here it is. For starters, if you're punching in an order and she's waiting to use the POS system behind, she'll literally breathe down your back, make annoying pout sounds, and basically act like she's the queen of the POS system, and you should automatically stop whatever you're doing to let her use it. Then, right when you flip the scenario the other way, she could have 3 servers behind her waiting to use the POS, and after she's done ringing in her food, she won't kindly get off and move away. No. The GD she-devil will go look at her stats, sales, LWB average, etc., which she could do 80% of the other times when no one is effing waiting behind her. She's a complete moron, always complaining that people are stealing her crap, and then like the idiot she is, she finds whatever was missing a couple of days later at her house. And again, being the complete hypocrite she is, I remember one day I asked to borrow her wine opener. I'd lent mine to someone and forgot who I gave it back to a couple of days prior, and of course it's identical to the one I had lost, so I say, "Hey, you wouldn't have happened to have found this in the last little while, would you?" And she replies, "Oh yeah, I borrow wine openers from servers all the time and forget to give them back. I have like 6 at home." Just speechless at this point, but at least she's somewhat honest, right? I'll be bartending on a night she's working and I'll have to go downstairs to change a keg or change the syrup for a type of pop, something that requires me to leave the bar area for a minute or two. And when I get back, if she rang in a drink and has been waiting longer than effing 2 milliseconds, she'll always be rude, saying crap like, "OP, can you learn to be better at your job and get me my drink?" and other crap along those lines. And probably my most memorable, I'm in the back staff area chatting with a couple co-workers looking at the news schedule for next week when Thunder C comes rolling around the corner with an attitude that can only be explained by having the Matterhorn shoved up your butt, looks at us all dead-faced and says, "F you, F you, F you." Of course, we're all speechless and just kind of giggle at the fact she's such a bee and doesn't realize half the restaurant despises her. Then she walks up to the news schedule, gives it a once-over, and loudly asks, "Hey, OP, take my Tuesday shift." Like, I don't even have a choice in the matter. I actually heard the general manager start laughing at her because he heard the whole situation go down. So of course I say, "No effing way," and leave. And our second story. Boss Mom and the Candle Thieves. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to post this story or not because it wasn't terribly exciting like some of the others, but what the hell, we always like to see a little revenge on petty thieves, right? Right. Onward. So I used to be a lotion-chilling customer service robot for a popular retail store. I've worked at different locations, but they've always been in malls, not the standalones that you sometimes see in strip mall parking lots. This is relevant to the story and also sets the picture right in your mind. At this point in my on and off and on again career with this store, I was working in a large mall, quite nice, decent anchor stores, lots of traffic from places where people make bank, so we get all sorts. But our average customer was a 50-something housewife with a rich husband wearing a velour tracksuit in that perfect shade of mauve that matched her immaculate eyeshadow, sometimes alone, sometimes with her equally put-together daughter and adorable new grandchild in a custom luxury stroller. If you've worked mall retail, you know the type, and you're hopefully nodding at your screen and chuckling. So since we're a larger store and since shrink, see theft, is a big effing deal to corporate, we are well versed on the danger signs that certain customers, thieves, will display when they're preparing to lift our precious merchandise. We're taught that Tuesday afternoons have the highest occurrence of theft, that anyone who comes in with a group and then disperses to distract employees is probably up to something, and that large shopping bags from stores that are not in our mall are a major red flag. Cue the group that sets off nearly every one of these alarms. So it's a Tuesday evening during the gear up to holiday, so we're all on high alert. Candles have always been a major seller at this store, and at $20 a pop, we can't exactly let them walk out. And while they are a bit large, they can be stolen if you're crafty. Luckily for us, Boss Mom's on the clock as the closing manager, and she's not to be trifled with, as our hapless thieves will soon find out. A few notes about Boss Mom. We did call her Mom because that's just what she was. She was kind, helpful to both associates and customers, warm and generous with her time and money, and very protective of her staff and store. She had high expectations of us too, and pissing her off was just about the worst thing you could do. Start drama, dodge hours, forget to chip in for potluck, but do not upset Boss Mom or the whole store is up your butt. So this Tuesday evening, a group of young adult women came into the store brandishing multiple shopping bags, and alert, alert, a couple of the larger white ones are not from any of our stores, so we're all very cautious. There's about 4 of them as I recall, and they immediately break up and start oohing and awing over the new fragrance and asking questions, so we're all working to keep an eye on the product, help other customers, and engage our tried and true breakaway statements to make sure one person doesn't bog us down. Oh crap, new girl done goofed. One of the group got crafty and asked if we had insert product name that's not longer on the shelf here in the back. That's one less pair of eyes to watch these ladies, and Boss Mom's getting pissed. Now the managers at this store are not supposed to stay in one place. They have to keep moving to make sure that they can spot if someone needs help, if a customer's being difficult, if the registers are getting backed up. You get the picture. Boss Mom, tellingly, is staying close to the door in the front area. Her stout frame paces just shy of the conversion counter, eyes sharp for any bullcrap from this group. Finally, they're done. 2 of them actually bought something, but the others, the ones weighed down with the most shopping bags, are strangely silent and morose. As the group approaches the door, Boss Mom steps to the side and stops them with the coldest smile I've ever seen on her usually warm and happy face. I'll take my candles back now before you leave. The front of the store goes quiet. I'm chirping into my headset that Boss Mom confronted our hapless thieves, and of course everyone starts converging on the front room to watch. From a safe distance, of course. The group sputters and squawks amongst themselves, but as they fluster, I see that one of their big white bags has a couple of telltale bulges in the bottom, the plastic stretching enough from the weight of the merchandise that the candle labels are visible. Oh, she got 'em good. As they argue, Boss Mom says, "You didn't buy any candles. I checked with my register girls. If you give them to me now, I won't call security." Then my favorite thing happens. The girl carrying the white bag bursts into tears and starts shoving the candles into Boss Mom's arms, and one of her partners in crime quietly places 3 candles on one of the nearby tables. Then they flee, practically running out the door. Boss Mom shakes her head, and I help her put the candles back. It was probably $120, $130 worth of product, which may not seem like much, but we got hit all the time, so this was a great victory. Boss Mom strutted for a bit the rest of the evening, and I didn't falter for that. Catching thieves is hard in that store because we weren't allowed to confront anyone unless we were absolutely sure that we saw it, or else we face legal problems. Only management really has the authority to act when they see it, and this time Boss Mom was victorious. Boss Mom 1, Candle Thieves 0. And our last story. New neighbor claiming my shed and its contents. Pennsylvania, Berks County, Robeson Township. House next to mine was recently sold to a large investment company. They're claiming that the shed and all of its contents are theirs, even though it sits about 50 to 60 feet away from the property line I share with them. A rep from their company saw me in my shed using the mower and told me to put it back and that I was trespassing. We talked a bit and he mentioned his boss telling him to chain and lock my shed and to document the contents of it. They've already taken some items from the shed, and I'm worried they'll come back to take more items or chain and lock it. I should also add that their op manager seems 100% to believe that the shed is theirs due to the GIS tool for the county, but even when I check that, it has the property lines exactly where I figured they were, 60 feet away. Edit. I've set up many no trespassing signs as well as a new motion camera that alerts me via phone, also temporary fencing put up, and a police report filed. I don't see the report going anywhere, but paper trail started. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.